Hello everyone, this is Don Shanahan from EveryMovieHasALesson.com, and welcome back for another edition of the Movie Classroom, a interactive whiteboard video kind of review series that goes along with my print reviews from the website. This week we're going to review Spider-Man Homecoming. Here is my review. Advancing to a future landscape while turning back our hero's biological clock, Spider-Man Homecoming counts as a clean slate for Peter Parker's web-slinger. Now nestled into the established Marvel Cinematic Universe after an outstanding debut in Captain America Civil War, Tom Holland is a true teenage Spider-Man, one that was never successfully conveyed by two previous franchises and their overaged actors. Aiming to please and bursting with effervescent zest at every flip, swing, and turn, John Watts' Spider-Man Homecoming succeeds as a brave new jumping-off point for a character that badly needed course correction. Summed up humorously by Peter's video diary entries, this film takes place a few months after Spider-Man's recruitment and participation alongside Iron Man, battling Captain America's defectors in Berlin from Captain America Civil War. Peter Parker, empowered by mentorship and an upgraded costume from Tony Stark and his right-hand man Happy Hogan, returning in to play those are Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau. He sticks to fighting crime on the streets of Queens as a friendly neighborhood YouTube sensation. He longs to become a full-fledged Avenger, but is squelched, and for good reason, by Stark's countermeasures and safety protocols built into the artificial intelligence of the suit. A rising concern from his Aunt May, played by, everyone's going to say it, the MILF that is Marissa Tomei at home, Peter has scaled back his sophomore year extracurricular efforts at Midtown Science and Technology School. His overextended moonlighting as the local do-gooder often yanks him away from the academic decathlon team duties, with his best friend Ned, played by newcomer Jacob Batalon. The bully, Flash Thompson, kind of revamped and changed from the usual things we think of for Flash Thompson by the Grand Budapest Hotel star Tony Revolori. The snarky wit of a woman named Michelle, dual entertainment threat Zendaya, and his number one romantic crush Liz, the debuting Laura Harrier. Peter may be making a difference in his community, but he is missing out on the positive high school experience he should be having. Thwarting an ATM robbery enacted by local thieves carrying advanced weaponry way above their pay grade, Peter tracks the hardware sources to the hostile Adrian Toomes, played by Michael Keaton, the head of a New York City salvage company secretly exploiting and selling stolen alien Shatari technology left over from the Battle of New York that occurred in 2012's The Avengers. Stark advises to leave the dangerous black market crime scene to the professionals, but Spider-Man dives in and clashes with Toomes himself, donning a powerful mechanical wing battlesuit as the Vulture. Notably here, Michael Keaton excels as a formidable and indignant nemesis that fits this film's urban confines and plays off the adult versus kid dynamic. After a lengthy cold streak of embarrassingly one-dimensional rage villains until Kurt Russell's ego in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 earlier this summer, Marvel has now put forth two vivid antagonists with edge and complexity in a row. For goodness sakes, it's Michael Batman Beetlejuice Keaton. The credit goes to casting solid actors like Keaton and, more importantly, improving their material. Speaking of substance, Spider-Man Homecoming is a cinematic high school yearbook's worth of swell touches and thoughtful details. Foremost, the against-the-grain casting of minorities and diversities, especially within Peter's circle of peers, deserves a stupendous compliment. From there, the innumerable nods and Easter eggs come in all shapes and sizes to entertain both comic and casual fans with sharp eyes and invested dedication. Small ancillary roles played by Donald Glover, Bokeem Woodbine, Logan Marshall Green, Michael Chernus, Hannibal Buress, Martin Starr, Matt Gargan, and Kenneth Choi all turn heads and carry roots and branches to the universe's past and potential future. Elder viewers with an ear for classic cartoons will be overjoyed by the opening measures of Michael Giacchino's robust musical score. The influential flavor of John Hughes slyly marks the teen and social school layers in Spider-Man Homecoming. The emotive Steve Ditko-inspired eyes on Spider-Man's mask are used to great effect as they were in Captain America Civil War. Sorry, Deadpool, the wall crawler came before you and does it better. Call all of it what you like, fan service or smart decisions, but they work swimmingly to inject vibrant energy and flair to every corner of the film. The brightest quality of all for Spider-Man Homecoming is the lead. Last summer, this website, myself, in my review of Captain America Civil War, declared Tom Holland's extended cameo did, quote, more corrective magic in 15 minutes to give you the young, fun web-slinger you've always wanted compared to all 5 tedious, angst-ridden, and overstuffed full-length films we've seen since 2002. I stand by that even more now after a complete solo film with Tom Holland. A wise rivalry-ending coup of lobbying agreement between Sony Pictures and the Midas Touch producers at Marvel Studios to lend each other their expertise, whether it's the character or the production. The 21-year-old Londoner and the fleet of 6 screenwriters, including director John Watts and his usual writing partner Christopher Ford, the horrible bosses and vacation duo of Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, joke specialist Chris McKenna and TV veteran Eric Summers, all properly sketch a plausible 15-year-old Peter Parker characterized with a canonical, inferiority complex stoked by rejection and inadequacy. Holland expresses those traits as self-inflicted stress and pressures, and leaves out the wimpy, whiny, and flaky angst of his Spider-Man predecessors, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. His style of pluck and mettle for this character is a breath of fresh air. That's the breadth of my review for Spider-Man Homecoming, and as is the signature on my website, I like to add life lessons you can learn from the film to conclude my review. Lesson number 1 is going to sound kind of preachy and cheesy coming from the school teacher here, but it makes sense, especially when you see what he does in the film. But lesson number 1 is stay in school. During your sophomore year of high school, you likely were not fighting crime with superpowers and letting your academic brilliance excel at a specialty STEM-focused high school. You were probably wondering how to make friends and get noticed by your crushes. Peter Parker still does the latter too. In fact, his life needs more of that right now than globe-trotting superhero battles interning with the Avengers. He should be a kid first, and that includes putting in the proper time in learning and hanging out with people his own age. Lesson number 2, and this is my favorite one from this particular review, it's a kid's enthusiasm of heroism. The youthful vibe of Holland and the Spider-Man Homecoming, and just kind of the whole tone of Spider-Man Homecoming, is really infectious. Peter has clearly watched the Lego movie where every experience with his powers is absolutely awesome. He just is into it, and it's hilarious. And who can blame him? The way he geeks out for every heroic achievement and chivalrous victory shows his unending spirit. It's never annoying, and it's always fun, and I think if all of us were 15 with superpowers, we'd be having a blast too. Lesson number 3, and my final lesson, is to represent the little guy. One of the best qualities about Peter's adolescent verve is that it's tied to his New York borough of Queens. Other than a big sequence in Washington, D.C., Spider-Man is a small-time and fallible superhero in training who is still learning what he can do and who he can be. Until Peter Parker fully matures to put the man into his superhero codename, the best benefactors of his help are the locals and fellow blue-collar people closest to him. It's really good that he just stays, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He doesn't have to be a globe-trotting crazy thing here. I know he's going to be in Infinity War soon, but I like that he represents the little guy, because he himself is a little guy. That's my take of Spider-Man Homecoming. I hope you enjoyed the film when you get to see it. I hope you enjoy my review, whether you're listening to it now or you're listening to it after the review. You can find me just about anywhere you search for Every Movie Has a Lesson, whether that's Facebook, online, Twitter, YouTube. Please subscribe and enjoy this channel if you like. And I will see you next time for more of these movie classrooms. Thank you.